Joining me now in the studio is accomplished painter Marie Hines Cowan, whose most recent work, Musings, was shown at the National Association of Women Artists here in New York City. Welcome to the show, Marie.
Thanks, Elliot.
I had the opportunity to see your exhibition, and I found it very interesting the way you blend the Greek mythology with modern-day culture. What made you decide to blend the two worlds?
Well, I mean, Greek mythology has always been a part of my world. One of the first books I read as a child after I learned to read was a book of Greek mythology. And most of the people, the personas, the characters in Greek mythology seem to me to be archetypical. Just, archetypes that just follow the human race through the ages. And it just seemed really appropriate to bring them to our age and continue them here in New York City. Also because New York City is such a melting pot of cultures. And Greek mythology is also. And they've pulled from Egypt, from the Middle East, from Europe. So it just really fit together for me.
Nice. We're going to take a look at some of your work, and I was hoping that you could walk us through some of the pieces. Sure. Okay, great. Here's the first one.
Okay, that's Athena in Barnes & Noble. And the book she happens to be reading in that painting is actually the Odyssey.
Okay.
And so basically the whole idea that follows through this group of paintings is that the Greek deities and some of my muses come and follow me around Manhattan. I stood in my studio one day and I said, "Oh, sing muse," which is like the first line of many Greek mythological and even Roman poems or stories. They call upon the muses to give them inspiration, to just inform their stories. So I called upon them, and the muses showed up, and the Greek deities showed up, and Athena was one of the people who showed up, and she starts following me around the city and telling me her opinion and asking me to paint her so that she can be immortalized, even though she's already immortal. But so she follows me to Barnes & Noble. And she's got a spear and a helmet, and she frightens all the customers.
And is that where the next?
And the next one is, she follows me to the Institute of Fine Arts Library, and in Barnes & Noble, everyone is frightened of her and is made uncomfortable. In the Institute of Fine Arts Library, they are so erudite and just they're the Institute of Fine Arts, that they're not interested in Athena. Okay, they have their books and their research, and so Athena is just kind of like overwhelmed by the glory of the Fine Arts Library. And
right. And who are the people depicted in your paintings?
You mean who are they? Who are my models? Or
yeah,
who are
your models, yes.
They're all people that I know.
Okay.
People that I've worked with, people that I'm friends with. On one occasion, I've asked a bank teller to pose for me. So they're New Yorkers.
New Yorkers.
And they're from all different cultures and races. Expatriates from South Africa. I've got a Korean woman who's posed for me. Just all different people, New Yorkers,
and
true New Yorkers.
And also from seeing your work, I noticed that you mix your paintings with poetry. So what made you decide to combine the two?
There's a Greek word called ekphrasis, and that means a picture phrase. And basically it means a description in a piece of poetry of a piece of artwork. So I thought, well, I want to go the opposite way. I'm a painter, so I want to take my words and make them, obviously I make them pictures, but then I want to take the words and turn them into something more than flat things on a piece of paper. So I have all these stories about how the paintings came about, and then I turn them into three-dimensional text to join and be art objects as well as words.
Coming to life.
Coming
from
to
the
life.
Page.
Yes, from words to the flesh.
Right. Also, with modern culture so fixated on the temporary and the instant, with social media and everything, how do you think traditional art fits in the scheme of things now?
Well, I mean, in my work, and I think so much traditional work, I mean, the stories we tell are stories that are out there in the collective unconscious that have been out there for millennium. So they're there. However you tell them, they're there. So you just need to get them out. And I think that people will appreciate them because even if you don't know them, somehow they're still with you. They've been with you, and you understand.
Okay. And your exhibitions have shown here in the U.S. and also in Europe. Do you find that people react differently in Europe as opposed to the audience here in the U.S.?
I haven't shown this current work in Europe, but I mean, I think Europeans are perhaps a little more, the average person is maybe a little more attuned to art, but I don't think they react necessarily any different to my work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, you're a leader in the arts organizations here
Yeah.
in the tri-state area, National Association of Women Artists, as well as Pen and Brush. Can you tell the audience a little bit about your work with those two organizations?
Well, I mean, the National Association of Women Artists is a women's group, which was one of the major reasons why I wanted to be involved with it. And it's a big, well, we've got 800 plus members, so it's a big community. So, you know, there's a lot of support from the other women who are involved in it. And we just really push and support each other to move forward, and it's really exciting to have all these women behind you. You know, all those people who are just at your back,
Right.
who are just there.
What would you say are your long-term goals with your work, and what would you need in order to achieve these goals?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, my long-term work with this project is, well, I mean, I have a lot more stories to tell about it. And I really would, in the end, like to have a physical book of it, and in the middle, a e-book of it. So I kind of look at art in a kind of holistic manner, you know, mixing the text with the pictures, but also with the internet and that experience. I mean, because that's so now. I mean, right. And then to continue on to something more concrete out of that, taking the paintings and the text and making it into something more concrete, but also keeping it very flexible as something that I can just say, so the poetry can just be said as well, you know, along with, while someone's looking at the painting, I can say the poetry. So I see that developing all of these stories for this particular project for another 5 to 10 years maybe. And then I have several other projects, somewhat along the same lines that I would continue on with after, also nice. Literary and visual.
I definitely look forward to see what's coming next. What advice would you have for a painter who would like to follow in your footsteps, who's just starting out?
Just do it. You know, when I was starting out, I had a lot of people tell me the painting was dead, that my work was too illustrative, that, you know, you should do something else. It's not, you know, get a good job, you know, get a job with insurance. Just do it. Right. Don't listen to the naysayers. If this is what you feel, go with it. You've got to produce what's in your gut. You've got to get it out there. Just say it, just paint it, just create those images.
Well, that's great advice. Thank you so much for being here today. And if you'd like to know more about Marie's work, please visit her website at mariehinescowan.com. The Artist Forum. Get connected, be heard. The Artist Forum is a place where artists of all disciplines can network, collaborate, and exchange information and ideas. You want to know when to catch us? Well, then log on to tvguide.com's local listing section. You can also see us live on the web via Manhattan Neighborhood Network's MNN.org. On the Artist Forum, you'll see interviews with New York City's emerging talents in theater, dance, music, the visual arts, as well as the written word. We'll jump the velvet rope to get interviews with entertainment industry's top insiders, as well as some of its underground talents. Expose yourself to the Artist Forum. Show us your work. Invite us to your performance. Do you have questions about the business? Do you need help better focusing on your career? Or maybe you just want to post information about an upcoming project? Well, log on to our website, theartistsforum.org. The Artist Forum, on the pulse of community activities and events. I'm Elliot Torres, and I'll see you on the Artist Forum.